Stand by. Stand by. Get ready. All points go loud. Go loud.
Delta 2 to any friendly Allied unit. We are a friendly ground unit requesting immediate assistance. Over.
Stand by. Stand by.
Search Al-Hadar for Delta 2. Use the laser designator to identify targets to your supporting gunships. Be advised, Iraqi armor is deployed in the town. Enemy mortar teams are also present.
Listen up, people. Head north through the enemy lines and reinforce Delta 2 until we can get there.
يا ابن الكلب صوت جاي منين؟
Press the throttle to accelerate, right, left to steer the bike, and brake to slow down or power slide. You have 30 seconds to make your way through right in the close twist, but be careful, hitting the cone will cost you 2 seconds. Well done! Now you know the basic controls. Let's teach you how to jump. Preload to get bigger air off ramps or jump over small obstacles on the ground. To charge your preload, press and hold the preload button. Release the preload button to jump. If you hold your preload for too long, the spring will start to decompress, resulting in lesser air. The closer you are to the tip of a ramp when you release the preload, the more air you'll get. Use the preload to jump and approach the barrel, charging your preload, and let it go. Cool! Next, how to go faster. Speed bursts will give you quick power boost. Try to use them before jumps or just to tear around the place faster than usual. Hold down the clutch and throttle to charge your revs. As soon as you release the clutch, the bike will boost. The bigger the charge, the bigger the boost. Note, holding the clutch too long will cause engine damage. Use the speed burst to clear the gap. Hold down the clutch and throttle to charge your revs. Now,
Try that again.
that was unlucky. Speed. Use this hold down the clutch and throttle. Now release the clutch. Aw, you failed. Use the speed. Hold down the clutch and throttle. Now release the clutch. Well done. Now you can go fast, but can you corner at those high speeds? Power sliding is a very effective, not to mention cool way of getting around corners fast. To power slide, first make sure you're going quite fast. Start steering and then hit the brakes. Once you start sliding, you can either hold the brakes if you want to slide to a halt, or you can immediately let go of the brakes and keep accelerating to maintain speed throughout the slide. Note, be warned that power sliding will gradually wear out your tires. Brace down to the cone, power slide around the barrel, and brace back to the stop. Now, get back to the start. Very nicely done. Now for some fun. Burnouts and donuts are a good way to show off in front of people. To do a burnout, just press throttle and brake at the same time. To do a donut, steer while doing a burnout. It's useful to note that your revs are filling up while you're doing a burnout or donut, so you can
Excellent shooting, Jak. Ever thought about being a wastelander?
Can't say that I have.
Wastelanders find items from the outside the city walls, eh? Any artifact or weapon worth having comes through my hands. Work for me and I'll throw some of the sweeter items your way.
Kill metalheads? Get toys? Sounds good to me.
Slow down, Jak and a fat man. You two had better run that by me again, cause there's no way I'm going outside the city to face more metalheads!
Sig will show you the ropes.
So you want to be wastelanders, huh, doughboys? Well, we'll see what you're made of when we get out in the thick. Crew wants some new trophies to put butts in chairs at the Hip Hog, so I'm gonna bag him 5 nasty metalheads at the pumping station. Don't wet your fur, Chili Pepper, cause we're rolling with the Peacemaker.
Woo! I need one of those! Where'd you get it?
Don't ask. Sig needs someone to watch his back while he tracks the metalheads, eh?
We'll meet at the pumping station. Listen, cherries, don't you leave me dangling in the wind out there.
Let's do it.
Hello, cherries. Ready to hunt a few metalheads? Follow me, stick close, and watch my 6. It's gonna be fun. Here we go. Here comes trouble. Follow me. Get behind me while I toast that tank. Hurry up, kid. I don't have all day. This way. Toast those bad boys up ahead. Great, kid, great. Don't get caught. Did you miss me? Quick, drop the bridge. Let's get across the bridge before they come back. There's our first target. Keep the other creatures back while I charge up the Peacemaker. That's one fried metalhead. Let's get to the next target. Take them all out! With metalheads, I say shoot first, ask questions later. Stay with me. There's the second scumbag, sitting pretty. Cover me! Boom, baby! One less metalhead to think about. Next target. hold them all.
Hey there, sack of nerves. How's the stuff going?
I've got good news and bad news. The good news is Core tells me we've got enough power online to keep the shield walls up. So for now, the city's safe. But I don't know how long the system can hold.
And the bad news?
We've detected a cluster of metalhead eggs growing up at the strip mine site. Now you've got to go back there and find a way to destroy those eggs before they turn into a whole new army of creatures.
I noticed the crane was lifting a large metal container. If we could jump onto the container, we could drop the crate from above.
Hi, jump, drop. Why don't I like the sound of that?
Come on, Dax, let's go.
Activate the protective barriers. Seal all doors. Alert! Alert!
He's shooting at the fisherman, Jade!
There are guards all over the sector. Whatever you do, don't get caught. We'll meet up a little further along.
It's coming from over there! False alarm!
Hi, Jade. I see Secundo already talked to you about the job. The war is taking its toll. We need a complete inventory of all species living on the planet. Thanks for the picture. Good luck.
move to break up the team. Carlson and Peters, page 823.
Let them go. They'll lead us to an even larger prize.
Activision is here today to cast 10 real kids into our new skateboarding video game, Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure.
Please make me, please, please, please.
This is who I am and this is what I like. GC Summon, Blink, and NXPX rocking my room. If you're looking for me, I'll be at the show. I can never find a better place to go until the day I die. I promise I won't change. So you better give up. I don't wanna be told to grow up. And I don't wanna change. I just wanna have fun. I don't wanna be told to grow up. And I don't wanna change. So you better give up. 'Cause I'm not gonna change. I don't wanna grow up. I don't wanna be told to grow up. I don't wanna be told to grow up. I don't wanna be told to grow up. And I don't wanna change. I just wanna have fun. I don't wanna be told to grow up. And I don't wanna change. So you better give up. No, I don't wanna change. So you better give up. 'Cause I'm not gonna change. I don't wanna grow up.
Ride like the wind! Reach for the sky!
Did I scare you?
My men have constructed a domino race course. To complete your skate training, make it through the domino gates in the allotted time. Soldier, you've located the first gate. Another gate has been completed. Keep going. You're showing superior speed. Next gate located. You've almost completed this course set of superior racing, soldier. You're one gate away from completion. Good work, soldier. Your next exercise is to collect the letters to spell skate. Hup! Give me an S! Oh! Right, soldier! You got the K! That's the A! Good work! You've secured the T! The E has been captured! You have gone above and beyond the call of duty! See that? I've got a real test for you. My men are trapped in that chest and need to be rescued. It takes just one trick to pick that lock. Go to it!
Spend hours on the phone, hanging out with all my friends and never being at home.
Sarge sent someone to save us. It's an honor and a privilege to serve with you.
Good work, soldier!
Darin würde ich mich verdammt gerne versetzen.
Ein Messer musst du grüßen. Jetzt.
control.
Dredd, we've lost radio contact with a squad of side judges in Sector 13 docks. They were tracking the dark judges.
I'll find them.
It's Dredd.
Throw down your weapons. You're under arrest. Life imprisonment.
Hey!
What do you think you're doing?
I'm giving you 3 months. I'm locking you away. 15, no remission. Big mistake. You're going away for 10 years.
Better watch your back, Judge.
You're going down 10 years. I'm putting you away for 2 years.
Hey!
Nice work, Dredd. Take it easy, Dredd.
Get away from me.
Word, bro.
You're taking the big ride.
Busted!
Big mistake. You're going away for 10 years.
Hey!
gonna spend the rest of your natural life in the cubes. Life, we're gonna throw away the key.
Better watch your back, Judge.
You're living up to your reputation, Dredd.
You're going down 10 years.
Hey!
Welcome, John Motson here. It could be interesting today. With me is Ali McCoist. Over to you, Ali.
Well, it's a capacity crowd here today for this big one, and you can feel the tension and the excitement in the air.
Hello and welcome to FIFA Football 2004. Over the next few minutes, we're going to be giving you a glimpse into why 2004 will be the most authentic football game ever released. How is this? Well, let's start with where we've come from. The focus of last year's FIFA Football 2003 was to perfect the fundamentals of good football for the individual players. With 2004, we've built on this solid foundation, developing it further by concentrating on the essential elements and continuing their evolution. We started with the way the players move and react to the ball. Using a new organic animation engine, we've been able to give the players a realistic and lifelike feel to their movement and responsiveness. The ball itself has been reworked with an all-new model, giving it genuine physics and handling characteristics. Football is of course a team sport, and by using new formation technology, we're able to model the behaviour of 11 individuals playing as one team. Moreover, this allows us to carefully architect the interaction of two teams on the pitch. Key to this effort is positional awareness, as well as 2, 3 and 4-man subunits who work together to manage space and create opportunities. This has been partnered with a player team database producing players with positional wisdom, personality modelling and a host of other new attributes that add up to the world's best player simulation. All of these elements combine to give FIFA Football 2004 unique individual players moving and behaving realistically while collectively working as a team. 99% of football is played off the ball, so this foundation of authentic football is extended by a brand new system called off-the-ball control, featuring physical play and jostling that allows players to fight for open space and positional advantage. A new defender marking control allows you to contain the player with the ball while simultaneously calling a second defender to put the pressure on the ball carrier. Remote receiver control provides a unique way of selecting and controlling potential receivers of a pass. The mode is initiated with a press of the R2 button. 3 possible receivers are highlighted with triangle, circle and square icons, each of which represents a corresponding button on the controller. By pressing and holding one of the buttons, in this case the square, you have selected a player to receive the ball. Whilst under your control, the left analog stick may be used to move that player into an open position and simply release the button to initiate the pass. When releasing the ball, the shift buttons may be used to modify the pass. In this example, the L2 button has been used to deliver a ball forward of the receiver and into space. Remote receiver control is also applied to dead ball situations, such as a corner kick. As before, icons are shown over the potential receivers, and once one is chosen, in this case the triangle, the right analog stick can be utilised to jostle for position, thereby creating space for that scoring opportunity. So there you have it. The evolution and development of good, solid football fundamentals through organic animation, improved ball physics, advanced positional logic, and in-depth attribute modelling, combined with the innovation of off-the-ball control, making FIFA Football 2004 the most authentic and exciting football simulation in the world.
Whilst creating the new PlayStation 2 title, Ghosthunter, a team of games developers stumbled on what appeared at first to be a series of strange coincidences. Not only did locations created in the game exist for real, many of the legends and myths surrounding these places mirrored those in the game with eerie accuracy. Intrigued, members of the PlayStation team decided to visit the areas which so closely echoed their own work. To help them research the histories of these so-called haunted places, 2 experts in the field of the supernatural were enlisted. Kalila Smith, parapsychologist, and Billy Roberts, world-renowned psychic. The old plantation house in New Orleans has played witness to countless dramas in its 200-year history. The property is said to host the spirits of several long-dead inhabitants. Of greatest interest to the team were reported sightings of a sinister child, identical to Jessie Planter, the ghostly girl imprisoned in the de Montfort mansion in Ghosthunter. As the team arrived, would the ghoulish infant come out and play?
I find that most paranormal experience or activity in old houses is due to a sort of a build-up of energy which creates a photographic image. However, in this house, I've experienced something completely different. I particularly felt something in this corner, as though there might have been a crib or a cot of some kind.
Actually, I got some readings over here on the electromagnetic meter, particularly like right in this area right here.
That's quite significant, isn't it?
It is, actually, and there's a little bit of a drop in temperature as well. The major drop in temperature is in the room adjacent to this one.
But what about down here? Because there seems to be nothing at all.
Nothing. It seems to be right in this particular vicinity, right in here. And that's also, see it high, it drops as soon as it comes near where the meter's getting the most reading.
I mean, I do feel slightly nauseous at the moment.
Do you?
Yeah. So I think, that's quite significant.
It's right in here, just right in this area right here.
Yeah, and the other thing is, anybody who sleeps in this room, I'm sure that they would have their dreams invaded by whatever's present in the room.
You would think?
I think so. It'd be interesting to see what goes on in the next room, because there's a strange feeling as you walk towards the door.
Right, let's check it out.
Okay, let's have a look.
Okay.
You know what there is in this room? An ectoplasmic mist.
When the team began to test for spiritual energy in the main bedroom, everything, including the filming equipment, appeared to be affected by the strange atmosphere. Batteries drained despite being fully charged, and microphones began to fail.
You know, she's draining my battery down.
Can we just hold up, sir? Billy, is your mic still plugged in? Someone picking it up like the layers.
To add to the sense of unease, the team captured an unexplained reflection in the bedroom's large mirror.
It's like a spot of light in the mirror that keeps appearing.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, that would be brilliant.
It's an orb?
Who's that?
Yes.
Who's this?
Even when the power was switched off, the light continued flickering for several minutes before disappearing. Billy Roberts was in no doubt. This activity was the work of a ghostly child.
She seems to be not malevolent, but sort of mischievous, and I think that she died a very nasty death.
Whatever resided in the plantation house, it didn't want a filming crew present. That much was clear. From the outset, cameras failed, and equipment closed down for no reason. The PlayStation team decided to leave the little girl to play in peace. The USS Seeker was a location which shared many similarities with the sunken HMS Victoria in Ghosthunter. In the game, the blast of ghostly gunfire resounds as the supernatural soldiers play out their never-ending battle beyond death. The USS Seeker was a battleship used during World War II. After being sunk in a devastating battle which saw most of its crew killed, she was sold and is now used as a museum piece. What nobody expected was that members of the ill-fated crew of 1940 would continue to protect and serve. The Ghosthunter team went aboard.
As soon as we came into the parking lot and I looked at the ship, I immediately started feeling almost a disorientation and dizziness somewhat. And when I entered the ship, I started feeling as if I had motion sickness, as if the ship was actually bobbing in the sea, even though it is landlocked.
I feel very agitated around this area, and I'm, you know, very, very certain. I know people would say it's obvious, but quite a few people died in this area.
I feel a lot of anxiety, a lot of anxious feeling, a lot of high adrenaline.
For me personally, it was like stepping through some kind of a time barrier.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And watching a replay of the events.
I felt not only the emotions, but I started getting like a flashing, almost as if I was watching a movie in slow motion of what was actually happening on the ship during a war. There were men running around, yelling, guns going off, the larger cannon-like guns shooting off into the air, airplanes coming over, exploding.
I get the impression, I very briefly glimpsed an officer standing up there.
I got that too.
Shaking his hand, pointing down at somebody as though he was angry in some way. And that's a sort of an an image from the past. So there is a lot of anger as well, isn't it?
There's a lot of anger, anxiety, frustration, and it's almost as if the ship itself has a pulse to it.
That's it, a living personality all of its own.
It's as if the ship has taken on that paranormal energy and the ship itself is alive and breathing.
There is a bit of agitation which I feel is probably from the people who were actually killed, whose lives were terminated. So, I mean, there's a lot of energy around here, isn't
There's a great deal of energy. And it's mixed emotions, and it's when the emotions are filtering through me, they're not my emotions, they're not all emotions that I can even distinguish because I've never felt anything quite like this in any other place before. I saw an apparition of a young man, maybe 18, 19 years old. He looked to be about 5'9", very small build, but very, very fair, very blonde, blue-eyed, and very cheery, and he was running up the stairs. And I got the same energy from this same young man right around one of the guns. And I'm getting a vision of someone being shot at that gun that you were talking about, and then another man literally just pushing his body off and taking over the gun. I got a lot of almost like past life regressions in here, where I was actually pushed into that time frame and seeing what was going on during the war. It's almost as if the boat itself pretty much pulls you into that era and reveals some of its history to you.
During the USS Seeker shoot, members of the crew heard footsteps along empty corridors, and shadows appeared where there was no one standing. Watching the tapes back later, it was evident that whilst the ship may have appeared empty, it was actually full of spiritual activity. Perilous and isolated, the Oakville swamplands provide one of the creepiest locations in Ghosthunter. The swamps are terrorized by a deadly phantom, the mutated spirit of rich landowner David de Montfort, fused for eternity with the alligator that tore away his life. Naturally, no real-world destination could be as terrifying as that nightmarish landscape. Or could it? Our team of ghost hunters were about to find out. As soon as the PlayStation filming crew set foot in the Blackland swamp, they all felt uneasy. Along with alligators and snakes, it seemed they weren't alone, and nobody wanted to linger.
What are you picking up here?
Well, I get the impression there's a lot more buried here than what I can see.
There are.
Sounds a silly question, but did somebody actually live here as well?
Yes, they did.
Because there's quite a lot of activity, I think, in a paranormal sense, and it's quite powerful.
This was actually a town. This
was
was
it?
the town of Frenier. This entire area out here in the swamp. It was a cabbage farming community. German settlers had settled the area. And one of the residents out here was a voodoo woman by the name of Julia Brown. And she was somewhat eccentric. She would sit on her front porch and sing songs, and she would always sing, "When I die, I'm going to take the whole town with me." Now, Julia Brown did eventually pass away, and mourners came from hundreds of miles away to go to this woman's funeral. It was the day that the hurricane of 1915 hit into the Pontchartrain Lake with 100-mile-an-hour winds that swept through the town of Frenier, knocking mourners, the casket, everywhere into the swamp. And then a 30-foot tidal surge literally swallowed up the whole town.
Wow. So that's
the Army Corps of Engineers came in, and there were no building materials. There was no town left, so they literally had to bury the entire town in a mass grave right here. Wow. Families, children, women.
There's quite an elderly woman that died as well. I felt her before, and she kept talking about Martha. And Martha seems to be, and that's not a German name, I don't think, is it? But she kept talking about Martha, so Martha is connected in some way to this.
Martha, yes.
Do you understand that?
I think that that's possible that the little girl that survived was Martha, because there was 2 survivors in the town of Frenier. An elderly black man grabbed a little girl and got inside one of the railroad boxcars, and he held on as the winds whipped through, and he held on to that little girl and he saved her. He eventually died. She grew up to marry and have family, and her family is still plagued by the ghost of Julia Brown.
Still today?
Still going after the last of the
amazing.
living from the town of Frenier.
Both Kalila and Billy claimed they felt the presence of spirits on the land housing the unmarked graves. For the rest of the team, they just knew it was a place they never wanted to return to again.
Last of the living from the town of Frenier.
At the end of their investigation, the ghost hunting team were still no closer to explaining the similarities between these real haunted places and locations featured in the new PlayStation game. It's a mystery, which continues to this very day.
EA Games.
Challenge everything.
After their extended trip throughout the Pacific Theater, the team's next stop was Arizona, where they were recording sounds of both Japanese and American machine guns.
We're in Wickenburg, Arizona. Arizona is one of the states in our great nation that will allow our Second Amendment rights, the fact that we can keep and bear arms and we can come out to the desert out here where it's absolutely arid and no people are around and we can fire what weapons we need to fire. This is the Lewis gun. This one happens to be in 30-06.
The weapon list is kind of varying based on the suppliers that we have that can provide the weapons for us, but they encompass Allied handguns, rifles, submachine guns, all the way up to a 50mm water-cooled machine gun. And we'll basically spend 2 days out in the desert with the audio team, as well as a guy that works on special effects for us, a couple of character guys, and some animation people.
That water-cooled machine gun was the same type used to fend off Japanese Zeros during the attack on Pearl Harbor.
This is really cool. This is the water-cooled 50 caliber that we're going to be using on the deck of the California for the Pearl Harbor level. It took a lot of phone calls to get this one on set, so we're really excited to be out here filming this stuff today.
They also brought along 2 Japanese actors and some actual Marines who were dressed in period uniforms.
I'm aiming low on the door. Those guys will be the ones firing the weapons, so when the animation team has to go back and choreograph that scene, they can just look at this video footage that we took in Arizona and put it together. And at the same time, the character team will look at all the lights and everything and see how it's reflecting. And the special effects guy will be able to see how the muzzle blast will appear and what the recoil will look like. And the audio team will be able to get an exact representation for how that weapon in particular sounds.
This is a U.S. rifle caliber 30 M1. Fires at a muzzle velocity of about 2,800 feet per second. There's a maximum effective range of
Supervising the entire operation was military consultant Captain Dale Dye.
I spent 21 years in the United States Marine Corps. When I retired from active service, I was a tremendous movie fan, in particular war movies. And what I found was that what I was seeing was not what I experienced. It wasn't the real thing. So I made up my mind that I was going to go to Hollywood and fix that. And so my thought was that just as we do in military training, you immerse the person in the lifestyle of a combat infantryman and then let him bring the truth to the screen. That was my theory. Everyone in Hollywood said, well, that's not necessary. It's called acting, Captain Dye.
Captain Dye went on to work with some of the biggest Hollywood directors.
With the 50 caliber machine gun. We began to experiment with doing a first-person, really accurate World War II video game. When Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks and I were in England and Ireland doing Saving Private Ryan. Steven Spielberg is a bit of a video game nut himself. And he brought me down there and he said, listen, we are going to design from the ground up a video game based on real-world World War II experiences.
Left-handed, never shot a gun right-handed before.
You never shot a what?
Weapon.
Sorry, weapon. Get over there. Just get down on your face.
Since the very beginning of the Medal of Honor series, Captain Dye has been taking his team through his infamous boot camp, and this game is no exception.
Time out. Yell when you go.
With every new crew that works on the Medal of Honor franchise, it's been kind of a tradition that they have to run through a bit of what I put actors through.
4, 5, 6, stop.
You just say, sir.
Sir.
And you say it after each count. Continue. I want them to understand. I think that's part of building the legacy at Medal of Honor. I want them to suffer a little bit, not even close to what the people they're depicting suffer. But I want them to understand what it is to be a soldier, and then bring that to the game.
Ultimately, it is the process of working with Captain Dye and several other military consultants that help bring the game to life.
It's really great working with each and every one of our historical/military consultants because they understand the subject matter, that we're making a game, that we can only go so far into realism without impinging on the fun factor. Going through Guadalcanal, we're not going to give the player muddy socks and gangrene and, and malaria, right? But they try to fill us in on the feel of what's the historical significance of holding on to that island and the airstrip and the airfield. And to try and build that into our missions, it really makes a difference because even if 10% of people don't pay attention or even 80%, somebody in there is going to get that. And one of our big things is for both veterans and historical buffs to go, hey, that's exactly spot on. That's right. But still have a fun time playing the game.
Next month, we're going to look into some of the other unique processes the EA team has implemented that makes this game worthy of the Medal of Honor franchise.
Repeat after me. This is my weapon.
This is my weapon.
This is my gun.
This is my gun.
This one's for fighting.
This one's for fighting.
This one's for fun.
And this one's for fun.
Very well.
This is the first of many atrocities you will witness man commit on his animal friends. Here's another fine example of human barbarism. The hamster cannon.
Put it back.
Mindless destruction. That's it. Just needless, maniacal, frenzied chaos. More hours unrelated and hard to better anyway.